17-jarige Nila. In haar land is het verboden voor meisjes om hun stem te gebruiken, om naar school te gaan en om te zingen. En dus deed ze precies dat, een liedje zingen uit het hart, uit het protest. Haar zangvideo ging de wereld over en sindsdien vecht ze voor Afghaanse meisjes die geen recht hebben en geen toekomst.
My name is Nila, and this is my story. In Afghanistan, women have been stripped off everything. Their education, their freedom of movement. I had to stand up for my rights for the first time in my life.
Refusing to be silenced, Nila recorded herself singing a powerful protest song at the age of 13. Her video went viral, and this act of vocal activism played a crucial role in overturning a controversial law just weeks later.
So that was the first time that I thought, wow, like, if I do want it, if I do think this is the way I want to live, I can speak up, and that can be accepted.
Her voice has resonated across the globe.
It is our collective responsibility to be their hope, to stand with them, and to take action. Our most important message to other Afghan girls is to keep our hopes alive and to really demonstrate that if we're given an opportunity, we can make the best out of it.
Hier is Nila Ibrahimi. Table.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Mark Dillard, also welcome to the table.
Thank you.
Children's Commissioner. It's a beautiful prize. It's so big.
I know, it's very heavy.
It's very heavy. You just came back from the celebration, from the ceremony. It was a very big ceremony. We can see it while you're talking here now. 80 journalists from all over the world. How did it feel?
It felt great to be at a space like that and to be able to meet the previous winners, the laureates from the past 20 years. I feel really honored to be part of that community now, having won the 2024 award. And also the fact that I get to work for this really important cause, and like getting this award really serves as a reminder for the whole world not to forget about the girls of Afghanistan. And yeah, I think I'm very humbled and very honored with this whole, everything that happened today, all the interviews, all the ceremony, and meeting the other laureates.
Yeah, it's big, and I can imagine also a little bit overwhelming. We can have a look at the ceremony.
Nila Ibrahimi from Afghanistan! Woo!
You won the prize for your activism, for your battle for girls' rights in Afghanistan. And this whole battle, your whole journey started in 2021. You posted a video of yourself singing at home. Your brothers helped you make it. What was the reason that you made that video and posted it at the time?
Well, I think I was 13 or 14 at the time when I recorded the video, and I was part of the Sound of Afghanistan music group. So singing was a very big part of my life, and it still is. And the fact that my government didn't want me to have that basic right as a 13-year-old and just pursue my hobby of singing just because I was a girl made me furious at first, but then I channeled that into taking action with the support of my family.
And weren't you scared to post the video for retribution?
Of course, like doing something like that in a country like Afghanistan, it always comes with risks, even though at the time the Taliban weren't in power. But of course, considering everything that I had heard before and everything else that had happened before with the people who protested, most of them killed, I did consider the risks, but I didn't let that stop me, because I couldn't imagine my life without music. And also the fact that there was so much support from the other girls who joined the movement, it also was another source of motivation.
The video went viral, but you weren't even on social media at the time, so how did you hear about that?
So with the support of my older brother, he posted it on his social media accounts, Twitter, Facebook, and all that. It went viral on Twitter, but then we had to get rid of it when the Taliban came, as it put our lives in danger. But it was my brother who told me about it going viral and getting interview requests.
You didn't even know what the word viral meant at the time.
No.
It's
My
such
English
a weird
was,
sensation
yeah.
to reach so many people with your song.
It felt really I'm not going to use the word weird, but it felt weird at the time because I was just 13.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, okay, so this law is imposed on my life that is going to affect my personal life very deeply. And I just don't want it to happen, and I'm going to stand against that law. But the fact that it got so much attention was a bit overwhelming at the time.
Yeah.
But also it felt like the world had our back.
Yeah.
The fact that they wanted to amplify our voices.
You were heard.
Yeah.
You were heard.
It felt good, and I feel like that was the start of my activism.
It was. We're going to have a look at how the situation for Afghan women and girls has changed in the past couple of years.
The Taliban have been rolling back rights for women since retaking power in 2021.
The Taliban is banning women from using parks and gyms in Afghanistan. The Taliban has said women should not leave home without a male relative and must cover their faces.
A statement by the Taliban-led Afghan Higher Education Ministry says all female students are being suspended from the country's universities. 3 years after the Taliban's return to power, a new law has been passed saying that women must cover their face and body completely.
They won't be able to sing or raise their voices in public.
True dystopia. Mark, when you see this recap, it's shocking to see it, and at the same time we realize that this is somehow slowly disappearing from the news. So to remind us, how are girls treated in Afghanistan in this current situation?
There are bizarre rules. The latest rule was that women and girls even are not allowed to hear each other. So if they pray or sing, they are not allowed to hear each other.
They're not allowed to use their voice, even when they're together.
Yeah, unbelievable. And even worse, at this moment, 2.5 million girls, so that's 80% of the population of girls in Afghanistan, are not allowed to secondary school. So there's a ban on schooling.
No education.
No education. So it's getting worse, and worse.
You're not allowed to use your voice in public. They're not allowed to hear each other's voices, even during prayer and singing. Singing in public is not allowed. No movement in public, no sports, no swimming.
Yeah.
A man has to accompany you to work.
Yeah.
It almost sounds like it's not happening on this planet. It's so crazy.
And the fact that a lot of people, like the fact that Afghanistan slipped out of the news headlines so quickly, that breaks my heart. And that's why, even though sometimes I think maybe I should pursue my hobbies, maybe I should get started my new life in Canada, the cause of girls' education lies really closely to my heart, because I think if the whole world turns a blind eye towards this cause, I shouldn't be that person.
When you were 14, your family managed to escape from Kabul. You lived in Pakistan for a year, then you moved to Canada. Just reference that. You've been living there now in Vancouver. And I can understand what you're saying. I mean, you're a teenager, you want to have fun, do carefree things, but it feels like you would be giving up on people back home if you stopped your activism for them.
Well, this is a very complicated thing that I got to realize when I first went to Canada. But by time, I've noticed that the key is to keep the balance. I can't carry the weight of the whole world on my shoulders, because sometimes it does feel like that, not only for me, but for other activists who work for different causes. But the fact that you sometimes have to think about you're not in it alone, and there are so many other people, and the fact that I met the laureates here, it makes me feel like I'm not alone in it.
More bearable.
Yeah, more bearable in a sense.
Yeah.
And also the recognition of kids' rights, of my work, that also really motivates me. And it serves as a hope for the girls of Afghanistan as well.
You have a whole new life now, a completely different life, a free life. But becoming a refugee, leaving your family and your friends behind is always a traumatic experience. What was the hardest part for you?
The fact
still
that
the hardest part, maybe.
when the Taliban came on August 15th, we left 5 days after. We didn't know in the morning of August 15th that the Taliban would come and conquer the whole city. They had taken over the other provinces, but we didn't know that it would happen so quickly, and they would make the president escape, basically. So that was a very hard thing for me to digest, to understand, and to understand that when I'm leaving, I'm not going to come back ever again, and it's not guaranteed if I will ever. So I think I don't like using the word trauma, because it puts people in boxes. But I still think that was the hardest part for me, to leave everything behind.
Mark, you've gotten to know Nila. You know what her mission is. There are not a lot of people her age with such a clear purpose in life. What makes her so special? I'm sorry, this is awkward. You have to listen to this answer, but it's okay. You deserve it.
It will be nice answer. I think what is very special that the Children's Peace Prize winner, and well, we can call you a Children's Peace Prize winner today, if they see injustice, they stand up and make a difference. And they are selfless. Because when she arrived in Canada, she could think, okay, I'm safe now.
Yeah, let me live my life.
Yeah. And she still continues. And of course, it is dangerous, what Nila is doing. You need a lot of courage. So I think selflessness, courage, and also, and that's the statuette of Kids' Rights of the Children's Peace Prize expressing, they want to change, they want to move the world. So, well, and I think she's a wonderful Children's Peace Prize winner 2024.
It's easy to become hopeless. If you were just talking about the situation now, there's no guarantee, as you said, that you will ever be able to go back. No one can give you that guarantee. How do you keep the faith, even though the facts are so horrific? How do you do that?
Well, what motivates me is seeing the resilience of Afghan girls who are still in Afghanistan. The fact that they continue keeping on to that hope, and they try learning with the minimum resources that they have. My friends who still have access to the internet, which isn't the case for a lot of girls, they try learning new languages, they try improving their English, they try writing or art. And when I see that and I think to myself, when they keep going with those circumstances, who am I to give up on them? Who am I to lose my hope? So it's always through the work that I do in interviewing other girls, not only just talking to my friends, but the other Afghan girls that I have the pleasure of getting to know through my work at her story. That is my source of motivation, and I want to share that with the world. Because
you interview the girls, you publish their interviews to make sure that they're still heard, that people hear their voices. I have a small favor to ask, because this all started with a song. Would you be so kind and sing a little bit for us here at the table, if you feel like it?
برو بخیر با مکتب درس بخوان دختر جان و تو نیاز دارم افغانستان دختر جان برو بخیر با مکتب درس بخوان دختر جان و تو نیاز دارم افغانستان دختر جان زنگ مکتب میخوانم دنگ 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 با درس نو میشه زندگانی رنگ رنگ برو بخیر با مکتب.
Wow.
Thank you so much. Congratulations. Keep up the good work. Keep up the good work.